have said or did not say that led to the illness that is in the land today. And finally, Lord, forgive me, sir, for all the things I failed to do that you commanded me to do that led to the illness that is in the land. I pray this prayer seeking forgiveness because I believe that you will heal the land. Well, God will heal the land. Fourthly, if his people which are called by his name will humble themselves, pray, and seek his face. Amen. This seeking of his face is the desire to have God's continual abiding presence with us, for we are his people. Amen. To seek God's face or his continual presence is to say, as the hymn writer said when he said, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me that I am his own. To seek God's face and his continual presence is to know that Jesus said, lo, I'm with you always, even to the end of the age. To seek God's face and his continual presence is to experience what the song stylist spoke of when he said, I've seen the lightning flashing, and I've heard the thunder roll. I felt sin's breakers dashing, trying to conquer my soul. But I heard the voice of Jesus bidding me still fight on. You see, he promised never to leave me. Never to leave me alone. No, never alone. No, never alone. He promised never to leave me. Never to leave me alone. God will heal the land if. Finally, God will heal the land if his people called by his name humble themselves, pray, seek his face, and lastly, turn from their wicked ways. This turning from wickedness is to turn from sinful behavior. Church, may I remind you that to fail to do right is as much a sin as doing wrong. I contend it's sinful to sit idly by and refuse to speak out against injustice. It's sin to say nothing and do nothing about the ills that impact our communities. It's sinful to be apathetic and not stand up for righteousness by being an advocate for justice and peace. I know I wasn't going to get no amens, but I got right here, so that's all right. Anyway, our predecessors met in our churches and planned boycotts and sit-ins and peaceful marches in response to injustice. What will we do? Amen. To do nothing is sin. Our forefathers worshiped God on Sunday morning and marched for freedom on Sunday afternoon. What will we do? To do nothing is sin. Our ancestors were leaders in the community, members of the NAACP, and supporters of peaceful demonstrations against inequality. What will we do? To do nothing is sin. Our mothers and our fathers kept the faith and continued in the struggle even when their adversaries burned their churches and ignited crosses on their lawns, all the while singing, like a tree planted by the waters, we shall not be moved. But what will we do? To do nothing is sin. We must turn from our wicked, sinful ways and become active in the struggle, releasing God to heal the land. So now you have the if in our lesson. God says, and I paraphrase, if the Christians would admit their sin and pray for forgiveness and seek my continual presence and stop participating in sinful behavior, then I will hear from heaven. I'll forgive their sin and I'll heal their land. As I prepare to go to my seat, I reiterate, if we do our part, God says he will heal the land.